All right, so girls and boys, so I've got to go back just a step again. We're going to be multiplying, and so when you've got an even amount of negatives, okay, that you are multiplying, it is always going to be positive. When you've got an odd amount of negatives, there can't be an addition in between. When you've got an odd amount, it's always going to be negative. Thank you. Okay. So an even amount is always positive. An odd amount will always be negative. And the reason is because what's a negative times a negative? Positive. So those two are positive. What's a negative times a negative? Positive. Positive. What's a negative times a negative? Positive. But then, yeah, this one times a negative is a negative. So it works out. All you need to remember is the even odd rule. So I really don't want to do any of these, but I will do it in a second. And then again on this one, I don't want to do these problems. It was on the worksheet yesterday. On these, Christian, stop. Is on the elevation problems. On the elevation problems, it's always the highest minus the lowest. And again, I'll go back through really quick. If I'm looking at the elevation between these two, they're 8 feet underwater, 88 feet underwater. Make sure you put the highest, which is this one closest to 0, minus this one. Okay. And again, changes to a positive, and it becomes 80 feet is the difference. So just a little reminder, because I'm not going to do those. So let's look at this side real quick. Yes, ma'am.
Is 3 and 4 multiplying?
On 3 and 4 is multiplying. When you can only squeeze a little dot in between, it is a multiplication. Alrighty? Then, going on this side, I've got another worksheet that I have on the printer that I'm going to go get in a second, because this is going to take you like probably a minute, maybe 5. All right. So on this one, so first of all, what's the sign on? Go to the box 14. What's the sign on this box right here? Negative times negative times negative is a what?
Negative.
It's an odd amount of negatives, so it's going to be what? An odd amount of negatives. It is going to be negative. And then you just multiply the numbers like normal. I'm going to find tens. Get some tissue, please. Okay. 2 times 5 is 10. And then 10 times 15 is what?
150.
Is 150. So negative 150. You cross it off. The next one is, there's an even amount of negatives. So what is that answer going to be? Positive. So fix up, get your sign right away. And then 6 times 1 is 6. And then 6 times 25 is what? Charlie, focus. It is, yeah, it's 6 quarters is 150.
Thank you.
Then, so cross that one off. What's the sign of this going to be? It's odd amount, so it's going to be what? Negative. So this one is just, again, even amount of negatives is going to be a positive. Odd amount is going to be and you don't even have to look at the positives. You just look at the negatives. An odd amount of negatives is going to be negative. So this one here, it's going to be negative. And who knows what that answer is?
It's going to be 27.
So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. And how you do this one is you find the one that is left over. It is a negative 20. Here's my negative. Thank you. I owe you 2 pieces of candy then. It's a negative 27, and this is the one that's left over. So the one that's left over, you put with the 14. So that is the letter N. Is that pretty easy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just do one more. And again, I'm going to go get this other one. Negative times negative is a positive, and then just multiply. 7 times 9 is 63. Cross it off. What's the sign of this one?
75.
What's the sign?
Oh, wait,
Negative, because it's an odd amount, so it is negative, and
no, we're not.
3 times 3 is 9, and 9 times 5 is what?
9 times 5. Oh, I thought it was 15.
I did these first, just because I like those. 3 times 3 is 9, and then 9 times 5 is 45. It comes out the same way.
I thought that -5 was negative.
Well, that's if I start from here and I go this way. That is 15, and then 15 times 3 is still 45. It doesn't matter if I take them out of order.
No, I literally thought that -5 was 15.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So that's the -45. And then this one, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
It is a negative. And then I'm going to do 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And then 8 times that 8 is
30.
negative 64.
Oh,
I'm going to see in just a moment.
oh.
And so the one that's left over is the I, and it is going to be 13. So you'll put the I where you see the 13. And that's about it, people. I'm going to go get the other worksheet, which is a combination then of adding, subtracting, and now multiplication. But right now you can begin on this. So the 13 gets the letter I. And if I need to record again, I will, but right now.